is the nation's #1 talk news and sports radio station. We're broadcasting live from our audiovisual studios right here in Ismi Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. This is Hard Facts, and I'm Maryann Okon, welcoming you to an abridged version of Hard Facts, because you know what? I beg to differ has returned, and this time it's the Tournament of Champions. Did you enjoy yourself thoroughly yesterday? Once again, we apologize for starting behind time. It was due to circumstances that were beyond our control, but today everything is under control. I put it to you that we will make sure that everything is on time. The show will roll on time. The kids are ready. It's going to be an amazing second day of the I Beg to Differ Students Debate Championship. It starts at 4 p.m. So get ready, stay close to your radio sets. We'll also be live on YouTube and Facebook at the time, so you cannot afford to miss it. As usual, we start off with the big stories on our national dailies, the ones that you and I are talking about, making it to trend on social media, and the ones that debut right here in our news bulletin in the studios. So these are the stories that are making up the big three stories. And of course, one that has become a recurring is the Ibom Air situation. Hey, what do you know? I've got another Ibom Air video, and this time it happened in Uyo. I think Ibom Air is beginning to have a little bit of bad press. Anyway, as usual, you know what we do. We start off with, of course, letting you know what we're doing today. So all the big three stories are coming right after this.
Get ready for the most important news of the day. It's time for the big three stories on Hard Facts. Tune in to our primetime show for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on the top stories making headlines. From breaking news to in-depth investigations, we bring you the facts you need to know. Join us as we delve into the biggest stories shaping our world today. Tune in to the Big Three every weekday, 3 to 4 p.m. and stay informed with the news that matters the most. Hard Facts, where the truth always comes first.
There's a reason why over 1 million people tune into Hard Facts every day. We discuss in-depth stories with sources behind the facts.
The Lagos State High Court has convicted, suspended the Chicago certificate story. It's never going away, is it? Show with stories for the day.
You hear diverse voices and opinions.
And she was meeting campaign with the husband, knowing that.
You should not feel happy because there is nothing to happy about.
Yeah, it's quite pathetic the way the country is going.
We distinguish each story accurately with analysis.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is Hard Facts.
All right, it's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. For the next few minutes, let's take a look at what stories are trending and making headlines. These are the big three stories for today. But I want to start on not such a good note. It's something that breaks my heart because I have a parent that's not necessarily aged, but falls in the category of a retiree. And it makes me also wonder why the average Nigerian should want to lay down their lives or do whatever it takes, in service to a country that when those people exit service, they're totally forgotten about. And what's supposed to be accrued to them is either squandered or used to trade or whatever. And then they continuously, for the little time that they have left on the surface of this earth, they continue to, languish in pain and suffering and poverty. Why? Because we have a country that doesn't care for them. I saw this video, of course, for those of you who know, yesterday at the airport, many people could have missed their flights or had delays because pensioners were out on the streets saying enough is enough. And it's not state government, it's federal pensioners. Because, if this was state, of course, the president would have said, well, I've told the governors to go and settle their people. Let the sub-nationals do their job. This time, the force is the federal government. I want to start with this video that's courtesy of Channels Television. Listen to what this pensioners had to say. Just take a listen. It's if this doesn't break your heart, and I'm not forcing you to be empathetic towards them, it's your prerogative. But if it doesn't break your heart, I don't know what will. Here's that video. It's courtesy of Channels Television. If this doesn't break... Okay, so that video is playing right now on Channels Television. Hopefully, I can get the audio out. Okay, I will go back to playing it properly because I have some other audio that's crossing it. My bad, guys. I'm going to play it again. Hopefully, if you're watching live on Facebook and YouTube, you can see the video. I want you to see so you understand the plight of the people.
These should ordinarily be relaxing and enjoying their retirement. But here they are on the street again with tales of neglect.
I don't have money. I can't eat well. If I eat in the morning till night again, by then I will be seriously hungry. Salary, 17,000.
Somebody somewhere is trading with the money and the pensioners are dying. I saw you interviewing an aged woman who is about 100 years old. Now, if that kind of a woman is on the street, they will say she's a witch. It is the present government that make old people to look like witches. We are not witches.
The leadership.
So there is some of them carried placards and it's saying, federal government, please restore slashed monthly pension allowances. Do you see the ages of some of these people? And it's the last person, the last person who spoke for me. He said, it is the federal government that makes aged people look like witches and wizards. And they're not witches and wizards. It's because of the struggle, the poverty, the penury that these people have had to deal with after actively serving this country. What does this say about us as a country? It's not my big three story, but I just wanted to put that out there because I think all through the night, I just kept thinking about it, that why are we this people? Why? Anyway, let's go to the big stories for today, shall we? I just really needed to put this out there because it breaks my heart. And if you do have parents, you know, you are an adult and you're my age, you've gotten to your 40s or you're in your 50s, you obviously would know that. And if you work in the, you know, the public space, this might be you, except you're a politician and you have stolen some money and you know, your future is okay. Yeah. But these are the big three stories for today. Let's start with the Ibom situation. Yeah. Now, there's a video that trended yesterday, obviously, showing the other lady's perspective or her side of the story. But then the fact that she was quickly remanded in Kirikiri has somewhat raised eyebrows, and there's some sort of an uproar. This is from the Punch newspaper. Ibom Air female passengers remand ignites selective justice uproar. Now let's read some details. The remand of the female passenger, Comfort Emanson, in Kirikiri Correctional Center for allegedly assaulting an Ibom Air cabin crew member and some security officials during the Uyo Lagos flight on Sunday has triggered public outrage and accusations of selective justice. Viral videos captured Emanson slapping, kicking airline and airport officials, including a female air hostess, after she allegedly refused repeated instructions, I beg your pardon, to switch off her phone before takeoff. In one clip, she was seen being dragged off the aircraft by airline security operatives. Ibom Air, in a statement, accused the passenger of nearly using a fire extinguisher from the aircraft to attack officials before being restrained. I want to read some messages that I got on X, because my very good friend Michael Achimugu had posted that they would need eyewitness account of people that were in the plane who flew with her for them to, as part of the investigations. But it's the responses that got to me. There was a response that said, but you do have a manifest. Why can't you use the information on the manifest to contact the people first? And then someone also said that, I mean, if there is a video that captures everything that happens on board, what has happened to that video? Well, my friend Michael, he should have shut up. But then he said, oh, what about if, you know, it's just video and there's no audio? But at least you will get a clear picture of what happened. Now, someone has come out to say, and I've seen several people from the plane, from that particular flight saying, I think this was a lady who said that the Emanson lady had told the air hostess over and over that her phone is on flight mode, but you can take it and try to switch it off because my phone is bad and it might not switch off, but I put it on flight mode. She handed her phone, according to the eyewitness account, but that the air hostess refused. That she refused. And so, but then they allowed her to fly. You let her sit on that plane quietly. When you got to Lagos, you refused for her to get off the plane, which obviously was where the fracas started. There's a video that I obtained, and I'm trying to get that video out so I can play it to you guys, of another one that happened in Uyo. Apparently, a lady was on board that flight, and all her luggages couldn't fit into the aircraft, and so they said to her, "Madam, you would probably have to board, and then your boxes will get to you." And then she began to cause problems, and the pilot we hear decided that he was not going to fly and cancel the flight because of one person. And so they started deplaning those who were on that plane. Yes, they deplaned them. And one of the ladies who were on the plane, who had a flight to catch at 5 a.m. the next day to London, was the one who was recording and was screaming. I want to play the video because I want you to see how that particular person was handled, as opposed to how this young lady was handled in Lagos. Let's put it side by side. Also bear in mind how the so-called famous Fuji star, I don't know the guy, I don't care, was handled in Lagos compared to how this young lady, who seems to be a nobody. By the way, note that the woman who was deplaned also in Uyo, we hear, was a lawyer. I want you to watch the video. And then, of course, let's decide how this issue should be handled, because it was so swift for her to be taken to Kurikuri. I'm not in any way condoning because she was kicking and screaming, but then something must have led to that outrage. Don't forget, this headline is talking about the fact that it is selective justice. So is justice being really served in this country in the case of this young lady? Anyway, while I try to get that video to play, guys, let's look at our other stories quickly. I'm sure that you must have heard by now that the EFCC had having their custody the former Sokoto governor and former speaker Aminu Tambuwal. Well, the story here says he arrived at their headquarters at 11:30 a.m. yesterday for questioning. The EFCC detained the Sokoto governor over corruption allegations. Sources who asked not to be named because they were not permitted to speak to the press on the matter said the former governor was detained at the commission's headquarters in Abuja on Monday over alleged fraudulent cash withdrawals to the tune of, wait for it, 189 billion naira. Now, the ADC has come out, on the other hand, to say, oh, you're so afraid of us, and now you're picking on our, big wigs in the party. You cannot shoot us down. But I am asking, because I don't know what questions to ask on this particular story. Because if we were to talk about fraudulent cases and allegations, maybe we should start with the Senate president, but I'm not going to be that guy. Or maybe we should talk about the people in the presidency. Or some of the people who are governors today, if we want to talk about questionable characters and allegations of economic and financial crimes. Where's Betta Edu? Yes, where's Betta Edu? Where's the governor of Cross River State who literally drowned that state in debt and ran away? Where's Professor Ben Ayade? Where are all of these guys? Where's Rotimi Amechi? What happened to that money in the Ikoyi building? I mean, we can go on and on and on. I have a clip of Babache Lawal talking about how corrupt. I'm so sorry, we'll be right back. He's talking about how corrupt the Tinubu government is. But what government did he serve in?
You've tried calling in, you've sent messages, you have had opinion, concerns, brilliant ideas. There's so much you've wanted to say, but time always runs out. The lines are always busy, the show keeps going, and your voice eventually doesn't get heard. But now, that changes. Now you have a chance to speak your truth, to express your views, to raise your voice where it truly matters. Introducing Voice of the People on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is your platform, a space for real Nigerians to say what is on their minds. No interruptions, no time limits on the phone, and of course, you get to have your voice heard. Just you, your voice, your truth. Here's what to do. Record a short video of yourself, just 30 seconds or less, sharing your opinion on any given issue that concerns you. It could be about government, society, your community, fuel prices, insecurity, unemployment, healthcare, power, education, whatever you feel the need to be addressed. To record this video, make sure you are in a quiet place so we can hear you loud and clear. Then post your video on social media with the hashtag NigeriaInfoVOTP. That is hashtag NigeriaInfoVOTP. Let your voice be heard. Be bold, be honest, be real. Because on a Voice of the People, everyone is listening. Nigeria is listening, and your voice could be the one that could spark change. Voice of the People. Every voice counts. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
This is Hot Fact with Maryann Okon.
I'll save Baba Chair's video for later. But quickly, what are your thoughts about the Tambawa arrest? I mean, he's been walking around for a long time. The EFCC should have picked him up. I'm not saying the EFCC shouldn't do their job, but I'm just asking. We've had so many of these allegations and cases around corruption, and please don't get me wrong, I care for nothing. I care nothing for any politician. Yes, none of them. But I started by talking about selective justice. Where are all of these people with allegations hanging on their heads or their necks, or really literally following them around? I'm still asking, where's Better Edu? Anyway, I don't know what you're going to tell me about that, but finally, let's talk about the confusion that's in the presidency right now. Premium Times reports that confusion as presidency reappoints and sacks Federal Character Commission chair in 4 hours. The president had on Monday, that's yesterday, reversed. In fact, he made an appointment and reversed it within hours. He reappointed first Muhiba Dankaka, a chairperson of the Federal Character Commission, at 6:35 p.m., only to replace her with former lawmaker Ayo Hulayat Omidiran at 10:44 p.m. The unprecedented flip-flop, ladies and gentlemen, has caused widespread confusion, with some stakeholders, including the Emir of Ilorin, issuing statements congratulating Ms. Dankaka on her reappointment even after Tinubu had withdrawn it. In its first statement, signed by the presidential spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga, the presidency announced that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had approved a second 5-year term for Ms. Dankaka, alongside the appointment of Mohammed Musa as the commission secretary and a full list of state commissioners. Now, Kayode Oladele from Ogun State was retained as commissioner after having served as acting chair following the expiration of Ms. Dankaka's first term. But less than 4 hours later, yes, the presidency issued another statement superseding the earlier one, announcing Ms. Omidiran as new FCC chair. So I'm thinking to myself, what's happening in Aso Rock? But again, it could be that maybe all of this screaming that we've been screaming that, look, Mr. President, this tenure elongation is illegal. Why are you continuing on this path? Maybe someone got through to him. Maybe. The phone lines are open. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. A lot to talk about. But first, let me take you to your Akwa Ibom state. Take a listen closely and then let's talk. This video I got it on X, but let's take a listen and see what plays out. Don't forget, what I was saying is watch the body language of the people who helped to deplane the lady, and then a mental picture of what happened to Miss Emanson here in Lagos. Here we go, guys.
That is the one woman that has stopped a whole plane from moving. I don't live in New York. I don't live in New York. This is what has happened. Many of us, we don't live in New York. We don't live in New York. See us coming down. Because of one person. Because of one person. See all of us on ground. Some of us came from far for this flight. Some people don't live in Akwa Ibom, and it's getting late. It's night. We are waiting for her to come down. Let her come down. Why is she still in the plane? Why is she still in the plane? Why is she still there? Why is she still in the plane? You don't bring a man out of the airplane is faulty. You cannot tell me that you don't get regulation. The plane is faulty. Now I go beat that lady. Now they talk. After I go beat her. Why is she still in the plane? Now she go come down now. Unless plane go carry only her. You don't bring me. Let's address this issue. So what time are we moving? Ibom Air.
Sorry, Digital, you need to help me play this video on live stream. I don't see it on live stream, and I need people to watch the body language of how this lady was deplaned. So, Digital guys, help me.
Yes. What's the accommodation plan for us? What are they doing? Okay. First of all, can we help everybody? We are waiting for her to come down. I don't know why she's still there. Why is she, as she was saying, and I won't agree, why is she still inside the plane? Why is she staying? Why wasn't she deported? Why wasn't she deported? Pilot said I cannot solve the matter with her, so I'm going to cancel the flight because we couldn't solve it. And we have security in the airport, and we couldn't deport one passenger. When I was coming, all four of my bags were left behind in Abuja. I did not stop the plane from moving. She insisted on her bags was inside. They would have taken her out. Why is this? They are all coming down. See all of us.
Please, I'm begging you, please. Calm down, Tampa. Yeah, no better.
Continue security, get airport me.
Yes, no, we have, man. But nobody knew why it happened. To be with something better, please. Let's temper.
You know I've lost my ticket with British Airways. Because I'm flying tomorrow morning by 5. It is now a no-show for me. How am I going to get, who is going to give me the money that I'm going to pay for my tickets again? Will Ibom Air give me back my
ticket? They will not. They were ready to fly. They had to fly. They didn't.
Can you tell this aircraft to move? So I have lost a whole ticket. I've lost a ticket right now.
I understand what you completely, but then who knows why?
Let her come down. There is no who knows why. Pilot had announced we are about going. Only to hear fracas down.
That's the problem. Something we never imagined to happen.
We are waiting for her.
No, please.
We are waiting for her. She will follow us inside the hall. She will follow us inside the hall. This is the lady that stopped this flight from going to Abuja. I'm posting it on my Instagram page, and I'm going to tag Ibom Air. I am posting it on my Instagram page, and we are going to tag Ibom Air.
Guys, I want you to notice how she was deplaned or taken off the plane. Now she's being attacked by the people who have obviously missed their flight to Lagos. Now, how I do not have full information as to whether they were put back on the plane and if the lady who was going to London was able to make her flight. But do you see the look on that lady's face? She's smiling. She had that smirk on her face, like, yeah, whatever. But do you see how she was taken off the plane? Now, take a mental note of that. Side by side with the Fuji plane stopper and Miss Emanson, the fighter. Was it done properly? Let's talk about it. 020127709930 020146579190. You could join the conversation on our Facebook and YouTube Live. Post your comments. On WhatsApp, it's 080959758505. And you could join the conversation. If you're listening from outside of the country, you want to join the conversation, you can call. Only if you're listening from outside of the country. Call WhatsApp 080959758505. 60 seconds is all you have. Please go straight to the point. Hello.
Hello, Maryann. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Glory Essien.
All right, Mrs. Essien, go ahead.
I just listened to what you paid, but honestly, even the passengers. Now, if someone is on board an aircraft, there is this focus that the pilot needs. Everyone prays, let's get to our destination on time. But from what is played out there, even the passengers, they were all making noise. They were shouting, they were screaming. This could distort their attention, could make...
Oh, no, they were already off the plane. They were on ground. The pilot had said that... So, yes, the pilot had said, because the lady who was flying with them was making, an issue out of the fact that if her boxes were not coming, then she was not going to fly. The pilot couldn't fly, so he canceled the flight because they needed to get her off the plane. I'm thinking that's what happened.
But Maryann, just one more thing, is it turning to Molwe now? Because this kind of a thing, I saw it when I did youth service many years back. Yes, yeah, they're shouting at the aircraft, inside the cabin and everything. It's not nice. It does not depict what. In short, the international community, I'm sure they are watching. This is bad and it's an eyesore, honestly.
Thank you for calling. But you see, this is what we mean when we say make an example of people. In other words, when you break the law, you face it. Face the music. That way, it's a deterrent. But when you say, oh, this guy is famous now and he did a video, he apologized. Let bygones be bygones. My language, it means that they can. You understand what I mean? And then another person feels like, okay, what the heck? Some Fuji Juju music guy did it, so why can't I do it? But then when it gets to that person's turn, you want to use them to send a message. When you didn't do it to the guy who feels that because he's the friend of the president, he could get away with murder. And because of some people standing in society, we give them a slap on the wrist. Same thing we do when they steal our monies from public coffers. We give them a slap on the wrist. But if a small person steals 10,000 naira, they remand him in front of some magistrate and he goes to jail and rots. What sort of country are we building, really? Hello.
Good morning. Good afternoon, Maryann. This is Git from Bagada.
Go ahead, Git.
Finally. See, since morning, I was very infuriated, and I'm happy I did not talk since morning. When you look at that video clearly, Maryann, I've said it over and over again. We have three sets of law in this country. There's the law that is made for the poor and the poor alone. While there's the law that is made for the rich, and there's the law that is made for the powerful. Apparently, the powerful do not have any law guiding them. They operate with impunity. Now, if you look at that video clearly, the lady was obstructed from coming down from the flight. Okay, hear me clearly.
I hear you loud and clear.
She was obstructed from coming down from the flight. Is the air hostess a bus conductor or a Molwe conductor? With the lady, when the lady comes down from the flight, we should disappear from the airport. She will still pass through a check. Why not allow her come down from the airplane and pass through the check and then apprehend her there? Then secondly, when they were dragging this lady down from the flight, Maryann, look at that video clearly. It was one of the staffs of Ibom Air that pulled off her clothes.
Yeah. That is a conversation that's being had right now about the fact that because yes, I know. So I mean, we've had all kinds of suggestions that look. In fact, I listened to a pilot this morning who said Ibom Air and the staff, they all managed it badly. The ground staff all managed it poorly. The fact that the NCAA and FAM were quick to say, "Oh, take her to Kirikiri," is also poor management. Yeah,
so Maryann, and if you look at this lady's case and Kwamwan's case, which one is more detrimental to the lives of the passengers? For the lady's case, they had already landed. For Kwamwan's case, it's even a terrorist act. It did not allow the plane to fly. I keep saying it. This place will not get better if we have selective justice.
Thank you.
For someone like me, even if I have 50 billion, I will not stay in this country and raise my kids.
Please stay with us. Stay with us. We need you. I need to let you go because of time. Let me take this call from Kenny quickly. Hello, Kenny.
Hi, Maryann. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How do you do?
How do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just want to say something very quick comparison. The first issue, Quam 1, was an customer that was not escalated. The appropriate action was taken against him because he was isolated from the people in the plane and he was set apart. So the officials, whether it be the airline or whatever, did well in resolving that. And the 6-month travel ban is adequate punishment for him. It should not be greater than that. The second one, the Ibom person, was not isolated. It was an irate, escalated issue. She was in the midst of the co-passengers. And
okay, Kenny, I'm sorry. I have to stop you briefly because the NCAA had asked that people who were on the flight, give eyewitness accounts. And we've seen about 3 of those people saying she was not a flight risk. She did not cause any problems. Most importantly, she handed her phone to the air hostess saying, "My phone has a problem. It doesn't turn off, but it is on flight mode. You can take my phone and try it." This is what one person said. The other person said she didn't constitute a nuisance while the flight was, in transit. So they waited. When they landed, it was the air hostess who started the fracas.
Oh.
Yes. But then that wasn't recorded, obviously.
Apparently. Well, I thank God for the eyewitnesses. Then the air hostess needs to be brought to book. And an apology needs to be, issued.
But she's in Kirikiri. Who's going to speak for her? Yeah.
Well, we are speaking for her, and I think it works. Just the way the YEC issue was resolved by our voices, I think it's going to work for her. So they need to apologize and compensate her for that.
All right.
A public apology.
Thank you, Kenny, for calling. 60 seconds is all you have, guys. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube. Notice what happened in Uyo. Notice what has happened twice in Lagos and how it was handled. Again, if both sides of the stories were not told properly, why the swiftness of remanding her in custody? Is the FAN and the NCAA going to walk back? Because we're seeing more people say she didn't do anything terribly wrong on the plane. She didn't start fighting. She didn't. Again, the NCAA, Ibom Air has said in their report that she reached for a fire extinguisher. What would have aggravated her to that point? We're not making excuses for terrible behavior. I've seen many people behave badly on the bus, on the train, on the plane. I've seen all sorts of things, especially if you fly Spirit in the US. Yeah. But I'm saying, was a thorough job done, or were they just in a hurry to put her behind bars because she's a nobody? There's also this propaganda that is going on right now on social media. I don't know if this is paid by some people in the government or by Ibom Air or by the NCAA. I don't know. But there are men who have mothers, sisters, and daughters who have started labeling her a prostitute online. I'm ashamed of all of you. I'm so sorry for all of you. I've seen some of you on our Nigerian Info social media saying she should wear a bra. How is that your business, sir? Do you tell your daughters what to wear and your mothers and your sisters? Why should that be the bone of contention as opposed to the elephant in the room. It's shameful that Nigerian men, especially African men, are very quick to label a woman a prostitute when something happens. Is that your best goal at any issue? It's shameful. Really shameful. And I really had to call that out. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon, Princess Maryann Okon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, I want to quickly say this. You see, some people in this country, they are quick to jump into judgment when it involves some certain set of people. See, today, the report investigation on the Oshiomhole is not yet made public. They are still also investigating Kwam 1, and Kwam 2 is already in Kirikiri.
There's Kwam 3 too. There's Kwam 3 today now.
There's Kwam 3 now. Now, so how do we, see, it's not a laughing matter. How do we treat our citizens? Do we even rate ourselves? Do we rate our people? Something must spark something. I was listening to Robert Alawan yesterday. I heard everything he was saying. See, as a wrap up, Maryann, it's not as if all these agencies don't know what to do. But I think these agencies, they are always answerable to those whose interest they want to protect in power. That is all.
Okay.
And that is why that Palm 3 is still in Kirikiri now. Thank God for those who are speaking up. Thank God for their lives. I know she'll be vindicated.
All right. Thank you very much for calling, Pastor Ladipo. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube. I see so many comments, and I'm going to come to it in just a moment. I want to take a few more calls on this issue. Don't forget, these are the big three stories for today. Former Sokoto governor, former speaker, former member of the PDP who is now in the ADC, Aminu Tambuwal, is cooling his heels with the EFCC. And they are accusing him of withdrawing monies up to the tune of 189 billion naira. The ADC has hit back, obviously, at the EFCC and the federal government, saying that this is a political stunt. They're trying to, take down their big wigs in the ADC, but nothing can stop them because they're all the way up. It just came to my mind. I'm so sorry. Most importantly, people are asking questions, and I watched Babachir Lawal, former SGF under the Buhari administration, which has been termed as one of the most corrupt administrations, even though he was an anti-corruption guy. But what struck me, or what made me question Babachir Lawal's statement, he said something about the fact that the Tinubu administration is corrupt, they've not done this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I thought to myself, I could have listened to anybody else, but you, sir? What are you in this for? Is it for the benefit of the average Nigerian or for your selfish agenda? I don't know, but it is not my place to judge anyone. And don't forget that Mr. President had a little of a flip-flop in his appointments yesterday. One at 4 p.m. and the other at 10 p.m. Change of heart. What's happening? Anyway, I want to play you Babachir Lawal at the end of the conversation. I want to do that. But let me take a few more calls. Let's go, guys. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
This is Iguzai.
Go ahead. You have 60 seconds, sir. Quickly.
Now, my question still remains the same. As I always say, with all the shenanigans that is happening around, I see as, is Nigeria a country?
It is a country. I'm answering you. It is a country.
I'll state the fact. It is not.
It is. I'm sorry, sir. With due respect, it is.
Because if Nigeria is a country, things could have been put in right. See what is going around the whole all the shenanigans that have been happening. You can see what they are doing now. The elite, the so-called hooligans, politicians, they have their own constitution that is they are riding with. The poor masses have their own different constitution they are using to put them in jail and punishing them. Is that a country? Is that how they're supposed to run a country?
Okay, sir. I'm so sorry. I know that you feel terrible about this. So do everyone who's commenting or reacting to the situation of things. But you cannot say that there is no country in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country. What do you mean, sir? Someone is saying, David Bauer here is telling me to stop all these narratives that I'm pushing here. All this damage control that you are doing here is like women supporting women. Drink some water, darling. This one's from Udo Sunday. Udo Sunday on Facebook Live says, we don't have laws in this country. What is playing out here is man no man justice. Henry Tokola says, I'm certain the issue with the woman being carried off the plane could have been handled with a little more finesse. But then again, it's not wise not to act with speed when safety of people on board the plane is being threatened. That's the picture that we're not painting properly. Everyone had been taken off that plane. And those who have, 3 people who have come forward so far, who were on that plane, did not at any point say that she was constituting a nuisance. She only just said, I can't turn off my phone. Take the phone now and try to turn it off yourself. It's on flight mode. And I'm not saying you must obey the orders on the plane, whether it makes sense to you or not. You're on that plane. And if you say no, you're obviously affecting every other person who's on the plane. I'm not making excuses for her, but I'm saying if she was a nuisance, just like what happened in New York, you could have taken her off the plane, deboarded everybody, and then take her off the plane. Then you take the people to where they want to go to. But that didn't happen. You flew with her. When you got to Lagos, there was hysteria. There was a whole drama that could have been avoided. So, did we jump to conclusions at the start? It's the question. Hakim here says, my question is, who was pressing charges against the lady? Is it the airline or the airport authority? If it was the airline, I don't think that it is selective justice because 2 cases involved different airlines, but in my own opinion, K1 should be prosecuted also by the government. Ifemi Day Valentine says, we have laws, but it is made for the common man and those who are enemies of the government. We have one of the worst confused governments in the world. Abi Ammo here says, even if the money is legit, obviously, what on earth would be the reason for withdrawing that amount of money in cash? If that was not madness, I don't know what else we would call that kind of crazy withdrawal of money from the bank. It's very questionable. I'm not even going to lie. I am not going to lie. We're going to wait to hear what the EFCC comes up with on this particular matter. I want to go on YouTube Live. Let me run away from Facebook. YouTube Live quickly. Joel here says, me, I dey front seat already. Now popcorn, I dey wait for the movie go be seasonal. Maryann, EFCC detention facility go full because of defections to ADC go plenty like ocean water. My pitching is horrible. This one here, Real TV says, shame on some Nigerian men and women labeling her a prostitute, even bringing up her old pictures. How is that related to drama played the drama that played out in Ibom Air? This person says hypocrites everywhere. Someone says today isn't Wednesday, it's Tuesday. Yes, it's Tuesday. What is the reason behind putting phone off on the plane? You better ask the NCAA and FAN. Emekeke here says Randy, Nigerian men already getting high from the exposure of her body because they can't touch her. They're castigating her. Wow. Okay. Someone says we have animals running the whole system in Nigeria from top to bottom. When politicians have control of professional institutions, what is there to expect? I've got to go on a quick break, Lagos, and we'll come back. I still have some more time. It's just a very short break, and then I'll come back and read some more messages and maybe take a quick call. It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We will be right back.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Facts. Whether it's politics, social issues.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back. It's day 2 of the I Beg to Differ debate competition. The Tournament of Champions. At 4 p.m. on Tuesday, August 12th, Esther Joseph of Hisak Academy, Lagos, will go word for word with Chikwere Namsi Ruth of Government Science Secondary School, Abuja, on the topic, euthanasia should be legalized in Nigeria.
At 5 p.m., Olajulo Akinoluwa of Wellspring College, Lagos will go all out against his co-debater Anthony Damilola Favor of Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa, Maitama, Abuja, on the topic, reverting to the regional system of government is the solution to Nigeria's insecurity. 2 fierce battles, 4 brilliant minds, 1 winner. Who will rise? Who will fail? Proudly supported by Obiwisi, Christian Schools, Massey Children's Hospital, and Njanla Fools. I beg to differ. The Tournament of Champions.
Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347*880*3#. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347*880*3#. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission. 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
All right, we're back. 99.3 Nigeria Info. I have just 2 minutes on the clock, and I want to read a quick message from Patrick Obeazo. Patrick Obeazo here says it's laughable that Nigerians have quickly forgotten about hunger, insecurity. The reason for withdrawing, let me finish reading that message. Malnutrition ravaging the country. We're now today fixated on Kwam 1, Kwam 2, and Kwam Edo. It's interesting, guys. It's interesting. I will hold on to Babache Lawal's video, and I will play it tomorrow. It will be part of our Big 3 tomorrow. My name is Maryann Okon. I want to thank you all for being part of the conversation. Femi Obong Daniel joins me in the studio. Daniels joins me in the studio in a few minutes as we start off or kick off day 2 of the Tournament of Champions. I beg to differ. I'm Maryann Okon. See you on the other side. Don't forget, this link is going to go off, but the live stream for the I beg to differ comes up right after the news. Okay, stay with us.
There's a reason why
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens.